Thank you very much, Chair, and good afternoon to everyone. How I wish I could say I'm covered. Now, I want to pick it up from where my colleague has left off, but with a direct question for both of you. Was there a formal memo issued in RAF stipulating that direct claims must stop?
Not that I'm aware of, my lady.
So what informed the cease of operations where direct claims are concerned?
I think it's bits and pieces of instructions that came. For instance, that's why I was saying the other day when my colleagues were talking about Project Cienza and I was listening to this, I was also confused, right? Because from us, I can directly tell you that in 2020 January, that was an instruction to say we are no longer, from marketing, we are no longer promoting direct claims.
Do you have that in writing?
No.
Who said it?
It was the executive.
Which executive?
Mpomanyash.
Mpomanyash. Is he or still she there?
It's a she.
Is she there?
Yes, she's still there.
On what position?
At the moment, I don't know because I'm not at the office. But the last time, yeah. Yes.
So
but then she was she was situated at the CEO's.
No, let me stop the clock and remind Honorable Mente, you know her. So she is the head of the CEO's office. She's the one who was sitting at the back there when we were discussing vetting, and you remember, we were asking about correspondence with SSA and so on, and she was answering that bit of the questions. So she's still at the Road Accident Fund. She's not on the EXCO. However, she's acting in an executive role. I'll just ask the team, can you just pull out, there is a document that they sent, so can you just pull out and email it to the members? But she is the head of the Chief Executive's office.
Through you, Chair. At that point in time, she was sort of like overseeing the corporate comms at the time, just to create more context. Yeah, thank you.
By way of clarity, my lord, through you, the lady you're talking about, Miss Mpomanyash, has climbed down from that position and she's no longer acting.
Be that as it may, she will have to come here. This has taken a different turn now altogether. Why I'm saying that? These invoices, cumulatively, they don't speak to what RAF has to do. They don't say anything about what RAF should be doing. The reason I'm saying that, today, only my colleague seated next to me will see my phone is beeping throughout. Myself and my colleague who serves in transport, we receive no less than 100 calls a day on people who don't know what to do. And secondly, those that have money and find themselves arriving in offices of RAF, they are coerced into getting a lawyer when they go there for a direct claim, but they are coerced into getting a lawyer that their claim will not be smoothless, or rather be quicker if they do it on their own. And I ask myself, so if people in the RAF offices are saying that, and there's no other message that says to the people, you can do it, it can be done, it is possible, and you will not have to forfeit 25% and other transactions that the lawyer would claim to have serviced you. if you do it on your own. That message is not anywhere in the country. Now the question is, what is it exactly that we say to the people, and what is this schedule? Paint this picture of a schedule for us. The schedule is, we paid in these invoices an event for 5,000 people in a playground or a small stadium, and we paid Kuzani to come and entertain people, and the central to that event was rough educating people. Can you give us, what is it that you do? These invoices, what are you paying for in relation to what the message has to be, and how many people has it reached?
My lady, I cannot own up to these events and speak to the specific of what they were supposed to do, because they were not arranged and they're not part of the mandate of my office. However, I will say this to you. We have shared with this committee a large volume of invoices that pay for the work that we are supposed to do. I was saying earlier that we participated at the Beach Fest where young people were carrying cooler boxes, and I decided that we needed to hijack part of that event because they were going there to drink from 10 o'clock to well after midnight. And we knew that many of them were going to be driving themselves home. And so 16,000 people, captured audience, hijack the screen to have the messages, but we have a huge team there that educates these people so that as they get absolutely sozzled, they still remember that they have to get an Uber or a taxi. So there are many of those events that we participate in. We love captured audiences. We sponsored the Metro Awards for that particular purpose, because on the day you have a couple of millions of people that are watching the Metro Awards. Metro FM itself is the second biggest station in the country. When there is a buzz around the Metro Awards, we know that for a month leading to the Metro Awards, well up to the Metro Awards, we are part of the topic. We have many of those, and I spoke about the community engagements. We have since moved from entertainment to, we had a deal with Sundowns, and as you know, the stadiums are full. Football is a religion in this country. We appear on TV. We partnered with Sundowns for less than R1 million. It's getting cheaper. And we have engaged the PSL to continue with this partnership, which is cheaper for the RAF. So we have many platforms. Quite apart from that, we have the festive season, followed by back to school, followed by Easter, followed by the winter campaign, followed by October Transport Month, followed by the festive season, when the team came from the agency saying we have an ad saying this, if you do badly, these are the consequences. I said, no, let us shoot it from a morgue this time around, saying, if you disregard the rules of the road this festive season, a guy from the morgue, we are here to receive you. And it was very popular. We even received complaints from the Advertising Standards Board or whatever. But it got people talking, because we have to try and save people's lives. We have statistics that say people from the ages of 15 to 34 claim the most from us. And those are Metro FM listeners, and hence we go to that platform. But we have to save these people from maiming and killing themselves so that they can grow up to contribute to this country. So road safety has become a central part of what we do, because we are at the tail end. But now we're trying to prevent people from coming to us at all. We have way too many claims as it sits.
Yeah, let's try to be short. I get you.
You
captured the message, my brother, much earlier. This that you speak to these two, you speak to collaborations, well and good, and you speak to the messaging of preventing accidents. That's good. My focus is the people that are affected already. what are we doing to tell them how to get their claims right? You are speaking to other things. They are not wrong. They are correct. I want to understand from these invoices, which ones pin out a schedule, or rather meetings, workshops, or whatever, that speaks to the message of saying, you are a victim. You are sitting emqanduli, ungumama owayelimele when you were 25, pregnant with a 6 months, and that 6 months baby today is 12 years. Do you have a claim that's prescribed that is sitting with us, or you don't? In addition to that, Raf was here. I don't know the department of the gentleman, but I think it has to do with communications. The head that was saying, we are phoning now. We're looking for people, anyone on our database, whether prescribed or not, whose claim was never finalized. No one knows that. How are you communicating that? Where in these invoices that you paid for communications of that nature?
In the invoices before you, ma'am, it does not appear. But we have many of those campaigns. Currently, as we sit, we have put together a document, a memo, that talks to know your rights, starting from how to claim, geared towards the people that have already had the unfortunate incident of being involved in an accident. We do have those campaigns, and we have proposed to run that campaign starting from now. We're just waiting for the signatures to be approved, my lady.
So they're only going to start now?
They are currently going on. That is the one that is just focusing totally on the folks that you're talking about, the folks that have been involved in an accident.
Can you please forward us that schedule through the chairperson?
My lady.
Thank you. Now, here, I want to go back to that invoice of the, what is this company? Not Zinge. The other one, Media Mix. Yeah, Media Mix.
Can you please indulge me with the invoice number, my lady?
The invoice number.
Look at the payment schedule. The blue and white. I think you are looking at the blue and white payment schedule, Honorable Mente. Yes, okay. Thank you.
No, we're gonna start at, because this one of the blue and white, it doesn't tell us. That it doesn't have itemized billing of this was a head, this was a microphone, this was a camera. It is a contract agreement, and it's not really helpful. I want to go to what caused Ms. Mate's suspension, the invoice of 26 million. The advert of 26 million, which was there before your time, Mr. Polela. You were not there. Can someone send them that invoice of that advert? You've got it? The 26 million.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is why I'm saying this one becomes very confusing, because it's not atomized. It's, I think, number 3 from the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah. It's one of those invoices. Please take us through. How did an advert become 26 million?
Okay. So let me just start by indicating that the highest media rate card in South Africa is for television. So now I can indulge the committee members to go to SABC and check the rate card. So I want to see if I'm linked.
Take us to that one. Don't
Yes, yeah.
Take us to that one.
Yes,
What
so that-
informed 26 million from that advert? And also take us through the time frame. How long was this advert gonna run?
Okay.
And how long was the advert itself? It was playing for how many seconds?
Okay, all right. So the flighting was going to be on SABC 1, SABC 2, and SABC 3. So this was a news clock advertisement. Prime time during the news bulletin. The rates there are very expensive. So unfortunately, we do not have the supporting document in the form of the media schedule. That media schedule will indicate the time that the ad was flighting, which will probably be 45 seconds before the hour of 7, and then it will show the rate for the slot that it was booked for, at what time for SABC 1, SABC 2, SABC 3, daily, right? For a period of 12 months. So it's itemized, it shows the rate. So that documentation and everything is there. We can submit that.
What was the objective of the advert?
Okay. So the objective of the advert was that at that point in time, as I've indicated, that we were quiet for a period of full 3 years. The people of South Africa did not know that RAF was still operational, as a lot of businesses had gone under. And at that point in time, we had certain strategic objectives that we needed to drive. Firstly, at that point, we needed to remind South Africans that RAF, people can claim for the following benefits: death benefits, funeral benefits, loss of support, medical expenses, as well as general damages. So when we went into the procurement process, the strategy was to make sure that we educate South Africans on our products, to remind them that they can come directly to claim with RAF, as well as campaigns that spoke to the RAF 1 form. I think a whole lot of advertisement in terms of the concentration went on to that specific campaign. As I've said to you, the key milestone at that point in time was the 21st of July, wherein we had introduced the RAF 1 form. So there were adverts on television that we're already doing. We were doing fillers during shows like Mubango and those kind of things. And then we felt that if we needed the news clock, it will augment the work that we're doing. So we booked the full year to then say, what are the 4 key strategic pillars of RAF that we'll be driving as per our marketing plan for the 12 months ahead? And that was booked to communicate those specific things. If this transaction happened before the year 2019, I promise you 90% of the campaigns that you would have seen on that news clock, beyond a shadow of doubt, because RAF had a clear strategy, it would have been saying, come directly. Just like all the RAF material that we pulled out of the market at the time that I indicated, we're saying that South Africans, come directly. If you are at Mkanduli or whoever, come on Saturday, because we spend a lot of money advertising RAF on the road. So, yeah, we use that to drive the imperatives of the business at that point in time, which was RAF 1 form, because we wanted people to know that if you want to lodge a claim with the Road Accident Fund, this is the form, because the heart was to ensure that we're servicing people at that point in time. And no one was going to get assistance without filling the form, the RAF 1 form. So it was a huge drive. I could say that probably 50% of the campaigns there on the news clocks were driving that message on the RAF1 form, and then the next one was the RAF3 form, because at that time the business direction and the indication from the executive was South Africans are not playing their part. They want us to sort out the backlog, but they are not giving us the relevant documentation. And one of the things is that if your car gets involved in an accident, before RAF can do anything, you need to, as the owner of the car, having finished the RAF with the RAF1 form. If not, we are not liable. Yes.
Thank you very
So
much.
that
Thank
media schedule details and itemize the slot, the time when it was flighted, how much it was. From the top of my head, an expensive slot on television advert of 45 second can cost, one slot can in prime time can cost you almost 189,000, just that one prime slot.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mente, one more. We way over, but I'll indulge you with one more.
The answers are too long, Chair.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, I have two. Follow up on your one. What was, you were not clear. That's why I said, Chair, other questions are gonna eat up on my time when they are not mine. They were for the evidence leader. You were not clear as to why did you have to withdraw the advert. And what then makes it worse is that yourself, you say, as an educated person, you can't complete the form. Now you pull out educational advert, and you are not making it clear to us what then became the implication besides financial implications. Because what we want, the reason for media or communications to exist in RAF is educational, to educate claimants and people of South Africa how to prevent accidents and how to claim. Those are the two objectives. But now here you are removing that which is supposed to educate people. You're not telling us exactly what informed the removal of the educational advert for the people to be able to complete the form. Secondly, to Mr. Polela, is that for the backlog, now you have spoken to us on what is the plan in terms of the action which RAF is doing for finding people. For the backlog, what was there before this particular action? What were you doing in terms of addressing the backlog and telling the people? So for both of you, thank you, Chair.
Okay, can I come in? I think when you're talking about pulling out, you're referring to the direct claim, ne? That we pulled. Yeah, the adverts that we pulled out. That exercise happened in 2020. So that was an executive decision. Just like an executive decision that was made that we are no longer doing RAF on the road. And to point to you that this was indeed a decision that was thought through by the executive was, I recall there's a time when RAF brought in buses, maybe one bus, which ended up being a road safety initiative bus through our road safety and CSR unit. When we wanted to, that bus, when it came in, we wanted to customize it so that people can come through and do what we used to do with our RAF Mobi bus. It became a very contentious issue, as in, Hlami must know that this RAF bus is not for RAF on the road. There is no more RAF on the road. So that was an executive decision, ma'am. I cannot sit here and answer an executive decision, unfortunately. And then the other question was, I didn't get the last bit that you wanted clarity on.
No, I think it was the second question was for Mr. Polela.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, to the question of the backlog, before the backlog campaign, what was there? We're going along with campaigns teaching people how to claim, following up on their claims. We launched the contact center when I arrived in October. So the focus was on the contact center to say people must call and find out at which point their claims are, what was needed, if there were documents that were needed from them. We only launched the backlog campaign, as I remember, around April of last year, and spent a huge amount of resources. And I'm sad to say this investment did not yield the desired result. I admit that what was intended, even with the huge investment that we made, did not materialize. There was no malicious intent on our part, but it's simply one of those things where it did not materialize. We learned lessons. We recently had campaigns when we dealt directly with lawyers for them to rather bring the documents, because we realized that if you ask folks to bring documents, they're not going to be able to, because they're not the ones that are driving the claims. It's the attorneys. So we have switched to having campaigns geared towards attorneys. We started in Manlin, Pretoria. We are now going to the East Coast, the Durban region.
Thank you very much. I'm going to come to you, Honorable Ghana, just now. Can I just ask, on this ad that led to your suspension, what was it about?
The end.